So let's play some Prime Control here. So again, because there aren't because you play completely on your turn in this game, the control decks are more board control decks. So we have our cards that kind of punish our opponents for putting their cards in particular positions. That's basically how it works. Let's see a few of those this game. The Celestian Prime, which our deck is named after. Basically, instead of using an action to draw a card for the turn, we get to sleight of hand for one of our draws, which is very, very powerful. We've played this deck once before on stream, so I don't think it was card for card this list, but it was pretty close. So everything I stream goes back up on my YouTube channel, so if you search for Warhammer TCG, Jeff Hoagland on YouTube, you'll find a few videos at this point. What do the lower border color mean? So this represents what type of unit this is. So the last deck I was playing, all of my champions were warriors, and this deck has this champion, which is a warrior and a wizard, and it has Lord Relictor here, which is both, actually. So you'll see this deck has some spell cards in it and some wizard abilities, and those cards can only be played on lanes that have that type of champion in them. Yep, warriors and wizards are the only two types. And then there are some special champions in the factions that are both. So like this is a warrior wizard for my opponent. So we're on the draw here. This hand's a little medium. The Mordrint Quick Quest would be my recommendation for an aggressive deck at the moment, or for a mid-range deck. Sorry, that's the deck I've leveled with primarily here. That's pretty unfortunate. So this can do up to 7 to us here. So I gotta decide how quickly I want to quest here. Basically, I think I'm gonna try and quest kind of quickly on my center lane. So this card heals me 1, and then it increases by 2 for each Stormcast unit, which is a special type of unit, basically the humans of this game. And so I could hold this to gain more health later, but just gaining 1 here will complete my first healing quest on this dork, which then allows me to play out this Retribution, this Righteousness here, which will allow me to complete the second quest here. And this domes them for 3 and then prevents 2 damage from my opponent's thing next turn. Looks like they're playing a quick quest deck, I would imagine it looks like. So this rotates off here, and then I could actually complete this quest like right now if I wanted. So do I want to spend this Triumphant Smash basically to gain 4? I'm not sure that I do. I'm going to start by using the Heroic Act here, just look at 2 cards and then grab 1 of them and kind of reassess after that. I have another Triumphant Smash. Alright, if I have another Triumphant Smash, I'm going to go ahead and smash this off. So this gets rid of their thing. And then it completes my ability quest. So because I have this Righteousness in my hand, I can complete this last quest kind of on demand here with this guy. And this deck isn't super aggressive, and some of our things do things like heal us. So generally speaking, I don't mind waiting a little bit to complete their quests. That being said, they've set up this 3 damage card nicely across from us here. So I'm probably going to play Righteousness out, because Righteousness prevents damage from my opponent's units. Or cards in general. Alright, so I'm going to take the Barrier Guard here. This is a card that, again, helps us kind of control the board a little bit. So if I want to wait a hot second on this, I could actually just play the Barrier Guard here and complete this quest. And I think I want to do that at this point. So this card, its first corner prevents 3 damage from the spaces across from this here. So this is going to tick to the 3 and then do nothing. And then its second corner deals 2 damage to my opponent, which is convenient. A lot of the times in this deck, you are activating Prime every single turn. Yeah, you really can't Goldfish in this game. This is kind of punishing my sequencing decision here. So, like, if I would have played Righteousness here last turn, like, now I can't prevent 3 damage from this because Righteousness only prevents from directly across and then kitty corner. I'm going to start by go ahead and hitting this and see where we end up at. Looking for, that card's not bad. Inspired Glory is actually kind of exactly what I'm looking for at this point. So Inspired Glory, this is one of the board control cards. So Inspired Glory is not only going to complete my quest here, which is great for us, but this is a card that has clunky corners here, so it doesn't rotate automatically on us. And what this card does is it looks at the spaces explicitly kitty corner to this champion and says, if my opponent plays a unit here or here, I get to draw 2 cards. So it basically locks down these 2 lanes. That being said, ooh, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. So that does 3, and then this does 5 to me. That's a big blow. So they have 3 cards left, but this like pseudo locks these lanes out until my opponent wants to spend a removal on this. Also, I'm still at like 18, which is like pretty healthy. I'm gonna go ahead and dig here. I wouldn't mind finding a Paladin. Would be ideally what I'm looking for here. Perfect. So Paladin Protector, on his first corner, he prevents 2 damage from my opposing units, and on his second corner, he prevents 1 damage. So I get to place this here, which completes the the Stormcast quest, and then it's going to prevent 2 damage off of this guy this turn, and it'll prevent 1 damage off of this guy next turn. So basically I completed a quest here, and he's going to gain me effectively 3 health. I think this deck is better than the Elf mid-range deck. The Elf mid-range deck was one that I worked on a little bit, or that I played a lot of my practice matches with, and I think it's a little bit weaker than this one overall. This deck list is more controlling, and the fact that we get to leverage Gift of Sigmar to like gain copious amounts of health is just like very, very good. So I'm going to start by hitting this. Another Paladin Protector. Another Triumphant Smash is pretty good too, though. I'm going to take the Paladin. I'm going to draw one here. I think I'm going to draw one. I'm just going to hang tight for a hot second. It's another Paladin, okay. So this actually prevented 1 from both of these, which is nice. I don't think the rewind ability is hard to trigger at all. I often trigger it at least once per game on the back of what's it called? On the back of Gift of Sigmar, if you're sequencing correctly. Is there ever a reason to draw instead of Sleight of Hand? You can only Heroic Act once per turn. So, like, if I were to activate the Heroic Act on this banner thing to gain 2 health, I wouldn't be able to use this. But no, you should basically always Sleight of Hand rather than draw if it's available to you. I guess I could full prevent the 4 from this. I could go like Righteousness here and then Paladin Protector over here. I don't hate that. Just like keep my health total high at this point. So this prevents 2 and this prevents 2. This is going to tick and do nothing. I've played a little bit of a Wizard Destruction list, but I haven't played any of the Destruction lists that, like, people on the forums have been crying about. That hasn't really piqued my interest. So steals 2. That's kind of annoying. Down to 9 at this point. Hit this and see where we get. That's pretty good. I guess this is pretty good too. I'm actually going to take the Barrier Guard here. So Barrier Guard is going to prevent 3 damage on these lanes next turn. So it's going to prevent the 2 that this is going to try and deal. And then next turn it's going to pivot to its second corner, which will allow it to deal damage and trigger my damage quest here, which is nice. And this does a damage back to them as well. So at some point, they're going to either have to use a piece of removal on my Inspired Glory here, or they're going to let me draw cards with it. And like either of those, I think are pretty okay for me. I don't know that any of the Age of Sigmar Champions terms really translate to Magic well, just because the games are like so fundamentally different. So if you the game says basically if your deck is empty and you didn't take a game action that turn, you then have to either discard a card or you lose the game. So every turn the game goes, hey, did you play a card? If yes, you're fine. If not, lose the game. Discard a card or lose the game. So I'm going to go ahead and play this Righteous Society. And this is one of the strengths of this deck. You can see, like, these cards are all dealing damage to my opponent and simultaneously negating damage that their cards are doing. So, like, I fully negated this card while playing other cards that were, like, advancing my quest and dealing damage to my opponent. Just, like, putting them pretty far behind. What on God's green earth does that do? I have no idea what just happened. So that was incredibly lucky on there. I think it was a card that got rid of all of my spells, but one of the things that this interface has a real problem with is the blessings that have a one-shot effect. You actually can't see what they're doing. They just do their thing and they flip back over. It fours you and removes all spells in play and does 2 more damage for each spell removed. Alright, so if that had been like any other blessing there, they'd have died. Pretty unfortunate for me. Yeah, I agree. See, that sounds pretty terrible, especially with how many there aren't that many people playing spellcasters at the moment. So playing that card seems kind of loose. When we have best of 3, like you'll be able to sideboard, like that card sounds great against in a sideboard as an extra blessing. Wait, can you even... I forget the rules. Can you sideboard blessings in this game? Or do you only have 4? I actually don't remember. I know you have a 5th champion that you can sideboard in and out of, but I don't remember. They didn't even win with it. That's great. Well, I don't think you necessarily need a 4 spellcaster deck either. And like some factions currently can't build a 4-caster deck. I built a 4-caster destruction deck that was like okay, but the most spellcaster based deck that I've put together that feels functional is what's it called? I have a 3-caster destruction deck that's a mid-range deck that's felt okay. Okay, that makes sense. You could have a blessing as part of those cards. Alright, well that makes that choice easy. And then I think I'm just like not doing anything at this point. Like I really don't like playing this out as one of my first units because it takes forever to rotate off. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw one here. I don't know. My general consensus is anybody talking about balance in this game at the moment just like is completely oblivious to the fact that like the game's been out for a very short amount of time and nobody's played that many games. And I would be very surprised if anybody has built anything close to optimal in this game yet. One of these months I'll remember to cancel this. Shut up, that's your prime. You have to manually come in and do that. Thanks for the Bezo bucks, Mike. I appreciate it. Alright, actually, I'm going to go ahead and just play this out over here, I think. Just because, like, one of these lanes I'm not going to do anything for a little bit anyways. And kind of, like, setting up a bunch of Stormcast units so I can set up a large Gift of Sigmar to heal for, like, 7 is, like, really good. You can play 3 of each card in your deck. In your champions, you can have a max of 2. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and play... Huh. I'm actually gonna play this other idiot out over here. And then almost drew a card. I've done that. I haven't messed that up in a while. Sleight of hand here. I think I'd actually rather take the piercing shot here to complete these abilities on later. I think it's funny that they put like the U on some of these ones that have more than 20 points, but I guess you could probably have formats where you do more than that, right? How many cards do they have? They have a lot of cards at this point. Green is points. The red number is your starting health total modifier. So every deck has a starting health total modifier of 30. And the red numbers kind of dictate what you do from there. So this is going to deal some extra points of damage here, and it's going to encourage them to play more things here. So I think I just want to go ahead and play my Paladin Protector out on this lane. And then I think I'm actually just going to Sleight of Hand again here. Do they have permission to use the tap symbol? That's different than the tap symbol. Believe it or not, an arrow in a circle is not copyrightable. Actually, it probably is, but it's different than the tap symbol on Magic. You should go back and look at Magic cards if you think that that's a tap symbol. Oh, that's a big hit. I'm going to heal for a bunch next turn, though, so I guess that's not too bad. I forgot that this was going to pump it up to the last corner. And this thing will prevent damage from here, too. So my next turn's actually going to be pretty good here. So my next turn, this is going to turn and deal 2, and this is going to turn and deal 3. And then I'm going to play this Gift of Sigmar. So this hero has a special line of text on him that says if you heal 4 or more points, you get to rotate one of your units backwards, which is useful because it allows it to get its most powerful effect again. So this guy's going to rotate back to 2, which is going to deal 2 damage again to my opponent, and then next turn is going to rotate to 3 again, dealing 3 damage. Do I want to hit this? I think I want to just hit this turn. I want to just hit this turn. I guess I could also play Warding Light out here, but I kind of want to save Warding Light for this guy's last quest. Yeah, it's super hard to tell sarcasm on text. That's basically why we invented the Kappa. Welcome to the Kappa, baby. So I think we're a little bit ahead right now. Again, one of the things that I have a really hard time gauging in this game, there's so many metrics that you have to measure like how far ahead or behind someone is in a given game. And I'm not sure that I'm fantastic at really recognizing exactly where I'm at in every single game that I'm playing. They just flipped over that. What does this do? Is this the one that takes my spells away? Oh, this one takes my units away? I don't even know what's going. Again, just like that UI is terrible. So I guess that one takes my units away. So like this opponent has just hit the right one there. I'm not salty at all. So I think I want to play this here because it will complete that quest. And I think I want to play this here because this will shield me from this guy here for a turn, which is nice. So this will deal nothing. And this guy is only 2 turns away from its quest being finished, which is nice. They bonfired me, right? Alright, and they just have to drop here, which is good for us. So these turn and they take 3. I haven't flipped any of my quests up yet, so if we get to that point, we should be pretty well off. Hopefully this finds a Righteousness here, so I can slide that out in front of here and take a little bit less damage. Perfect. So Righteousness advances this quest nicely. And also prevents 2 damage here. It's also going to discourage my opponent from playing a unit here, which is nice. So this is going to rotate and we'll take 2. Sorry, I forgot this one. So we take 3 total. I need to find a Stormcast unit so I can complete this quest on my 4th lane. I already have a Piercing Shot or a Triumphant Smash lined up to complete this quest here. Just want to go ahead and get this finished up here ASAP. Alright, they're moving this guy maybe over here or over there, sure. It's smart to put it over here because they're going to play a Daemon unit out to complete this quest. Then I can't Triumphant Smash here and complete a quest. Whereas if they moved it here and I Triumphant Smash, I would be completing this quest. Yep, so what does this one do? Fuck's sake, you have 15 or less. The deal increased by 3. God, that's so absurd. This does 2, so like this is not optional. I just like have to get rid of this, because otherwise everything this does is going to get increased by 3. Looking for a unit, looking for a Stormcast unit, I guess I should say. So I guess I'm taking Righteousness here. I suppose I could take the Barrier Guard here, because the Barrier Guard will prevent most of the damage from here, and it'll complete this quest for me, which is nice. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. It's only 1 less damage. I take 1 more damage, but I'm gonna get to go ahead and complete this nicely. Saba Speed, thank you very much for the 6-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. And then next turn, I'll get to deal a little bit of damage here with this, and then rotate it back and remove this, which is nice. So this card, in addition to smashing off whatever unit I'm removing, it takes my friendly unit and rotates it back, so I get this effect for another turn, which is nice. So I'll have a 3 damage prevention up here again. Oh, what does this card do? It makes their stuff deal extra damage. Yep. So this is going to hit here. I'm going to go ahead and Triumphant Smash this guy here, which removes their thing and then rotates mine back. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and put Warding Light on here. So in 2 turns, this will complete its last quest. But honestly, this game might be over in before 2 turns comes up. They're down to 8 here. Do they have any cards in their hand? They have 1. They have 1 card in their hand. Alright, what you got? Five ball. Yep, that's a lot. Oh, I think we're probably dead here. That's super unfortunate. So I can deal... The problem is this is gonna do 3 plus 1, and then they can actually activate that too. Yeah, the fact that I just like didn't complete any of my quests just like really sucked. Can I find another 3/2? Yeah, if I find another 3/2, I'm still taking... No, I guess not. Yeah, I guess a 3/2 does it. Yeah, you're right. The problem is if I smash their guy, it has a last stand ability on it, so I actually die. So this has a last stand deal too to me. So yeah, I had to find a thing there, and we didn't find a thing, so I died. It's really unfortunate. It's actually worth noting here too that like the fact that this was here and I can't play a Stormcast unit out on here means I can't complete that quest either. And I feel like I really just like mismanaged because I just die when I do this. I mismanaged my stuff this game because like I came so close to completing my quests actually everywhere and then just like didn't complete them anywhere, which means I messed up somewhere along the way. Because if I would have like they flipped up 2 of their blessings and that game was really close. So like if I would have flipped up probably even 1 of my blessings, I likely would have run away with it. Maybe I was trying to get a little bit too much value by rotating my things back and not prioritizing getting the actual quest completed by keeping my guys on there too long. It was really fortunate that they flipped up and hit their one that like cleared 2 of my cards off too. But I think even through that, if I would have focused on completing my quests, I would have been fine. Yeah, none of my cards lined up right that game. I think nah, that's not even true. I probably just messed up somewhere. So you always want to make sure your wizards start in the middle in this deck because they can put the board control card on them. Yeah, definitely, G-Goat. I agree with that. Really highlights nicely like what Quest can do for the game. And again, their quest kind of flipped up at opportune. Any other quests were probably, any of their blessings were probably fine. Again, like one of the things you want to do to like get better as a TCG player is if you spend all the time dwelling on like the variance that your opponent had, you're never going to be able to get better. Because like, right, blaming the result of your game on what your opponent's deck did is basically just like the biggest cop out you can do. Just like if you try and put the blame for everything that happened on things that were outside of your control, you're never going to be able to focus on the things that you can change and get better. I need to get a better computer chair for up here. My wife's chair sucks. Seems okay. See how aggressive they want to start off here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and piercing shot on this lane here. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide out this Paladin Protector, which will completely negate the first hit from this guy, which is nice. So no damage from you. Thanks, friendo. I always feel kind of bad when I like don't slide a hand in a turn with this deck, but just like is what it is. Another barrier guard, huh? Or righteousness. I kind of like these righteousness. Like smite him. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead. Oh, so this is tough. Like I could use this to gain 2 here, but it really doesn't accomplish anything, right? I might just draw a card. I think I'm just gonna draw a card. They're drawing up as well. So next turn, this is going to deal 2+2 if I don't have a unit here. Yeah, the card backs and playmats are like super rare. I assume that's to encourage you to craft them. Definitely want a smash here at this point. Then I'm going to go ahead and play out my barrier guard here. So this is going to cover 3 of the damage from this, 3 of the 4, but it's also going to complete this quest here. So again, just like, if I can negate most of their effect and complete a quest, like that's a win for me. That card is annoying, but not the end of the world. Does extra damage if I am... There are a couple of choices here. I think I want to start questing on Relic Tour here. So this guy's going to deal extra damage to me for a hot second because my health total is so high. I could just gain 1 and then play Righteousness here to complete these first 2 quests plus stunt 2 damage from this. That doesn't seem terrible, honestly. My opponent's deck doesn't seem particularly aggressive, so like waiting a hot second to, or like, my opponent's deck doesn't seem particularly aggressive, so I don't think I mind, not getting max healing out of this thing, just like using it to complete my quest ASAP. Whereas, like, if my opponent was playing a more aggressive deck, I probably would prioritize holding this until a point where it could gain me, like, 3, 5, or 7, somewhere in there. Yeah, I'm doing champions every Wednesday night. So every Wednesday, we started about an hour and 15 minutes ago. Piercing shot seems great. So piercing shot means I can get this guy finished up here, but worth noting, this guy says reduce damage from highlighted champions units by 1, so I really don't want to play a unit on here that deals damage at the moment. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and draw a card here. Just take my lick for 4 from this guy. They have so many cards in their hand. They have 10 cards at the moment. So we're probably going to see them start playing out a bunch of stuff here, I'd assume. So this heals them, and then it restarts their unit here. Probably going to smash this off, then. Like, not super interested in letting them get through and deal 7 more points with this. We'll start by hitting this and see where we go from there. So this play makes it kind of appealing to just, like, play a Righteousness out here. That's a Paladin Protector, which is, like, kind of sweet. So at that point, if that's a Paladin Protector... Yeah, it's on my website, Death Eater. I tweeted it a little bit late, but it's definitely up there. I don't have a good ability to complete this quest here. I could put the Paladin Decimator over here, because it prevents damage from this, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because this guy does less damage if he has a thing across from him. And this guy I'll probably hang tight here. This will probably be the last lane that I complete my quest on. I'll probably work on finishing these ones over on these other ones first. I assume we're going to see them, like, play out another unit this turn, and then, like, next turn get set up to use the Star Strike to rotate them all back through. That is brutal. Means I can't deploy anything on this lane. Alright, so I think that deployment there means I want to play the Paladin Protector here now. Yeah, I'm going to play the Paladin Protector here. And then I'm going to go ahead and Piercing Shot here. No, I'm going to go ahead and hit this to start, see where we get. Looking for a Stormcast unit. Perfect. Hopefully we don't get... if they have another Hurricane Raptor to deploy on this 4th lane, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Smash my Protector, that's so... Oh, and they rotated back and got 3. That's brutal. I think I'm just going to Righteousness here. I guess I should, if I'm going to do that, I should do this first. Okay, I guess if I have Righteousness here, and then next turn I can Piercing Shot plus other thing over here. Now I'm going to start by hitting this. Let's see what we get. More Triumphant Smashes. I already have 2. Yeah, I'm just going to grab an Inspired Glory. I'm going to go ahead and put Righteousness here, which will prevent the 2 from this and the 2 from this. I'm only going to take 2 next turn then. They have a ton of cards in their hand, though, still, which is really scary. I'm taking 2 down to 14 here. How good is Prime? Prime's pretty good. He's difficult to quest through. You have to build your deck in a very specific way to successfully quest with him, but if you could build it that way, it's fantastic. Yeah, and one of the things to keep track of too, like while Prime is like kind of this restarts all their Stormcast units. While Prime is like kind of difficult to quest through, he also what's the word I'm searching for? He also like helps you find the right pieces to help him quest, which is nice. So I think I need to just smash this guy off here at this point, which is going to go ahead and get me extra damage. Yeah, he's an engine card, basically, is a good way to think about it. So that does 2, and it's going to get to do 3 more next turn. And then I think I want to just do this at this point. I'm taking 3 next turn down to 11. I really need to find a way to heal to finish off this last quest. God, that's so bad for me. That is incredibly unfortunate. Yeah, Nerves. I don't think I'm going to get to that one tonight. It's in the list. I created a tab on the donation spreadsheet for Warhammer. So it is on the list. Well, that's brutal. Am I dead? There's a chance we're dead here. Yeah, like this Hurricane Raptor is just like slaughtered us this game basically. It's like been completely unable to do anything. I think I just need to hit this and find a what's it called? I have 2 more Gift of Sigmars in my deck. I have 2 Gift of Sigmars and 16 cards. Just need to find one of those to like gain 3 and hit a decent blessing here. That's so unlucky. I feel like we've gotten incredibly unfortunate in these games. I'm probably just dead to rights at this point. I guess I just righteousness here and like hope not to die. Like 4, we're just like dead to a piercing shot. It's like worth noting here too that like neither of us have flipped up blessings, but again, like I'm so close to flipping up so many of mine. And like next turn, my Gift of Sigmar just like isn't even worth nearly as much to heal with. Alright, that doesn't do anything there. So I probably just want to like play this here just to prevent damage on these lanes again. If they could have killed me last turn, they would have, right? So if I do this here, I could do this here, and then I could Piercing Shot over here, and then next turn I could play the Hurricane Raptor to flip this quest up. I could also Raptor plus Sleight of Hand this turn. I guess I want to start by Sleight of Hand and see what we find. That is really terrible. That is exceptionally bad. Oh, there's so many things that are good here. And by so many, I mean 2. And I've bottomed a bunch of cards. Stop breaking my toys! Then they have something that does 2 here as their last one. Or to trigger this. Yeah, probably. Well, I'm not dead yet. So at this point, I think I'm just smashing this. Then we're like dead to any unit. Like they would have played a unit last turn, right? I think I just hit this and then smash here. It's just so incredibly frustrating. These have been really frustrating last couple of games. It's like had so many turns in a row, or just like two games in a row, or just like we had like 3 turns looking for like one of 2 or 3 cards, just like bricked off constantly. I don't think I've had a game in a while where neither of us flipped up a quest. And like that game too, just like my opponent just like won by the skin of their teeth, just like used actually every single card, just like barely killed us while we were bricking off. Well, I mean, they could do that gaming, they just don't want to because they're greedy. Like anybody who thinks Wizards of the Coast couldn't set something up like this, they're just like, they don't get it. Wizards of the Coast wants you to buy all of your cards twice. That's why they have their system set up that way. We just lost every game with this deck. I'm gonna go back to playing the Mordrin deck. Play one more here to wrap up the night. Yeah, I got kind of tilted on the Aelf deck. I punted two of them. That's what the deck I played for like 3 of my placement matches, and I lost all 3 of them, but I punted 2 of them, so like maybe I shouldn't have been so down on it. Yep. So we're on the draw here. Pretty bad starting hand. I guess it's not too bad. Barrier Guards are pretty good in this matchup. Barrier Guards is great in general. This card and Righteousness, just love playing these 2 cards together. It's very, very good at what they do. They just hit the wrong heroic act. I think they just hit the wrong heroic act. Get wrecked. I think they were intending to hit this one, and they hit this one by mistake. I'm going to take the Gift of Sigmar here. And then I'm going to go ahead and slide this out over here. That's true. Can't hit the wrong one if you only have one. Hang in something stupid like 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's 8 a.m. PST tomorrow. I think the sealed leagues come online, which means you're not going to be able to get cards for till later than that. Because you won't be able to just open packs. You have to like play sealed, which is like incredibly stupid. Alright, so this guy is going to rotate through. So not this turn, but next turn I'm probably going to want to put a barrier guard here to prevent the 3 from this and the 1 from this. I'm going to start by hitting my prime ability here. I'd actually love a paladin, thank you very much. I'm just going to draw a card here. I might just draw a card here. I could play this paladin out here, which would be kind of appealing. Then, like, next turn I could go Gift of Sigmar, gain 5. It actually seems pretty sweet. I'm going to play this paladin here. And then next turn, I'll be able to Gift of Sigmar on here to gain 5 and rotate this back. And then play the Achillean Barrier Guard here to prevent the bulk of the damage from up top. Yeah, this Barrier Guard is just about to be so absurd. Like, when people are complaining about these aggro decks, like, you just need to play more cards that are interactive. There are a lot of people complaining about these destruction decks, and it just feels like they just, like, we're trying to race them, and they're not trying to interact with them. Like, this destruction deck, I think, is, like, almost certainly the best linear aggro deck. So, like, if you're just trying to race it, you're just gonna, like, fail in that endeavor. But if oop, that was almost the wrong one. Just, like, Gift of Sigmar here. But if you're interacting, like, even a little, it feels, like, pretty reasonable to get them. So we go up to 33 here. I rotate this back, which deals 1, and then it deals 2 again. So basically, this healed me 5, and is effectively going to deal 3 extra points of damage, which is nice. And I get to go ahead and put my Barrier Guard here, which is effectively going to gain me 6. Just like, I'm a big scary elf on a thing. Step off. Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot the text box on this card. If it's across from a thing that costs 7 or more, it's dealt with Rend, which is damage prevention piercing. That's fine. This still prevented 3 here, so this is still a fine play. But it just wasn't as good as I thought it was about to be. I think that's still the play there, but I definitely thought I was preventing 6 and not whatever. Wow, that's an aggressive use of that heroic act. Just to rotate that off. That means we're going to see the one that is an ability to let them play things here. Or they misclicked again. You already did that once this game. How do you misclick a second time? What do you think is confusing about the way they convey rotations in this game? I kind of want to get rid of this. They had 3 actions because this card here gives them additional action. So one of the destruction tribe or faction sub-themes is they have things that give them additional actions in a turn. Triumphant Smash here is perfect because it will let me get rid of this Dorko and also rotate this back to get more damage. Because this thing here, when it rotates all the way through, it removes all of the units in front of it, and I really don't want it to remove my deal 3 here. So I've got 8 points of damage in play. We finally won a thing, but I don't know if that counts. I think my opponent was probably not paying too much attention. Let's play one more. Maybe this deck's not good enough. I don't know. I don't know how any of these order decks feel. Should probably try the elf deck, give the elf deck more of a chance. I think I punted 2 of the matches I lost with it during. I haven't played it since I tilted off. I was at the gym playing my placement matches. I mean, the active corner is always in the top left, so I guess I'm confused how you can like miss which one your unit's on. Like, so like the top left is just like always glowing. Is that the idea? I'm not sure I understand how that's useful. I could see if like the cards didn't rotate. Do I know how much data this uses per hour? I have no idea. I mostly play while using while on Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, you should like, it's just always the top left corner. No, I'm playing using an Android emulator on my computer called Genymotion. It emulates a full Android operating system on your desktop. And as you can see highlighted over my name, it is free for personal use. BlueStacks is Windows only. I only work from superior operating systems. The sand is something. I'm gonna start by hitting this. This might be a game where we sit and just collect cards for a hot second here. Inspired Glory is pretty good. Definitely don't need a 3rd Gift of Sigmar. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and just run Inspired Glory out here. Just like lock them out of these 2 lanes unless they want to draw me cards or like spend a piece of removal on my Glory. We haven't had a lot of good early Glories in these games either. So next turn, this is going to rotate to an X, and the turn after, it's going to rotate to a 2. So I'm going to want to set up the barrier guard on this lane here, the turn before this goes to a 2, to lock them out of completing the damage quest here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this Heroic Act. I don't have that many spells at this point. I kind of have a lot of units. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and take the Righteousness here. And I think I'm just going to draw a card. I don't really have anything I particularly want to play out. Another Glory could be funny. I could, like, put Glory here and then, like, have all 4 lanes unlock until they draw a piece of removal. Although I kind of want to play Gift of Sigmar before I do that, so that way, what's it called? So that way I get to complete the quest. So I'm going to do this here for sure. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and draw another card here. Looking for piercing shots and stormcast units at this point. I'd love a Hurricane Raptor. Thank you. So my next turn, depending on what they do, my play will change. My most likely play for next turn is Gift of Sigmar here, just to gain 1, and then play Inspired Glory out. They have a lot of cards in their hand, though, so I assume they're just, like, digging for removal at this point, because they want to get rid of this rather than give me cards. Alright, so that probably changes my sequencing here. Does it change my sequencing? Yeah, I think it does. So I'm going to go ahead and just Gift of Sigmar here just to gain 1. Like, again, my health total's not a huge issue at this point. And I'm actually going to quest pretty quickly on this Spellcaster lane. I'm going to play this out to deal 3 and then have a 2 prevention shield on these lanes. So this is going to deal nothing when it turns to this. And then this will also cover this lane here nicely, so they need to deal 3 or more on this lane to complete this damage quest, which is good for us. And then I can actually complete this quest next turn. Righteousness is really good because it rotates off quickly. So next turn I can Gift of Sigmar to complete this ability slot, and then play the Inspired Glory here to have the full Glory lockdown and complete my quest. Oh, there's kind of an argument for not completing the quest. That is super unfortunate for me. That is super unfortunate for me. So this card says, if the thing across from them doesn't control a unit, I have to shuffle 2 cards from my hand back into my deck. And I am definitely not going to control a unit on my Spellcaster lane. So we're about to go down 2 cards. I think I'm just going to do this, and flip my thing up here. They're pretty far off of getting anything going, which is nice. So, like, we should hopefully have a little bit of time to recover here. Well, I guess we're taking a little bit of damage here, so the healing on this isn't going to be wasted. Worth noting, the max health total in this game is 35, so you can't heal past 35. So if you heal when you're at 35, it just, like, doesn't do anything. So they're up on cards. We're basically at health parity here. I think we're a little bit behind at the moment, especially because, like, this is cards in the bank for them. Alright, have a piercing shot. And go ahead and fire. Do I want to fire this off here? I might just want to draw a card. Yeah, I think I'm just going to gas up on cards here. Although, I kind of want to play around another thing like this, so maybe I don't want to gas up too high. So this turn, I think I'm going to go ahead and Sleight of Hand here. And then probably Piercing Shot over here on lane 4. Righteousness and Disruptive Liberator. I think I just wanted Disruptive. Yeah, it seems fine. And then I'm going to start completing these quests on these other lanes. So I'll get my damage quest off here, which means next turn I'll be able to get set up to Hurricane Raptor here. And Hurricane Raptor locking out this 4th lane is good for us because lanes 1 and 3 are kind of being controlled by this Inspired Glory until they find removal for it. So they're going to Cursed Strike there, and then I'm assuming they're going to play a Mordrent and just, like, give me 2 cards. Please give me 2 cards. Alright, so they got a Blessing, I got 2 cards. Fair deal. Fair deal, Areno. I get to go ahead and play this guy over here. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and hit this anyway, so I might as well do this first. There's no reason not to get more information before I do anything else. Raptor sounds great, or Barrier Guard sounds great. These Disruptive Liberators have been kind of medium. I wonder if I want those in my deck or not. And they have so many cards in their hand at this point. This is like kind of the last blessing they wanted, because like they have so many things that they want to be doing that like spending actions hitting me with this is like not a place they want to be in life just yet. Next turn, I will probably play the Paladin Protector out on this first lane, because it'll prevent 2 and then 1 here, so it'll gain me 3 total, which is nice, while completing a quest. I'm going to be hitting my Celestian Prime here, kind of digging for an ability for this last lane over here. So as always, you want to start with this, because there's really no reason not to if you think you're going to be doing it anyways. I would love another Decimator, I think. I'm going to play my Paladin out here. I guess I could play this. This prevents 2 versus this prevents 3. I really kind of need some abilities here, which sucks. Maybe I'm just supposed to draw a card. I could see drawing a card being correct. Yeah, I'm just going to draw a card looking for an ability, I think. Perfect. So the next turn, I'll play my Barrier Guard out here on this lane. And then we can smash off whatever their follow-up is. Well, I guess their follow-up probably won't be in this lane. They'll probably have a follow-up over here. Of course, I could also just play Disruptive Liberator on this lane to kind of discourage them from playing anything out over here. Well, I guess I kind of want them to play stuff, right? Because I can go smash in the thing here. I get to flip my blessing up. They're still just drawing cards. Gosh, their hand must be really bad. I'm like, at this point, like what is in your deck that like you've drawn that many things and like don't have what you're looking for? This is kind of a control mirror at this point. It's gonna be interesting to see who can actually like come up with the stuff to actually finish this off. Piercing Shot is great here because it's an ability. This is a Android emulator called Jenny Motion. There's also, if you're using Windows, an application called BlueStacks and Nox, I believe, are things that they're called. Alright, so they did that into a Mordrint over here, so I assume they're going to play Unit out and flip up this last blessing down here. See which one they get. That discards 2 cards out of my hand. It's kind of a tilt. I guess I don't really need these, so it's less of a tilt. So next turn, I'm going to flip my blessing up on this here. I think we're kind of behind. I don't actually know. Like, we're down on health, but like I'm pretty close to flipping up like 2 of my blessings here. So I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to play Paladin Protector out here, which flips this up. And that does 6 to them and gains me 2, which like actually ties the health totals up. So the health totals are tied, but the health totals are tied and we have board advantage, but they have 5 more cards in their hand than me, which is like a pretty significant jump. My next turn is probably going to be Piercing Shot plus Paladin Decimator over here, just like get this last quest going. They gobbled up my Inspired Glory, sure. One of the things that's like kind of a real worry is like, am I going to have enough DPS to like actually kill them through all their health gain? Like, this is like a game 7 sitting in play, right? Yeah, I played it physically a little bit at Gen Con. I've been playing in paper more, or in digital more than anything, though. I don't have a ton of time to play paper card games. You get used to it pretty quickly. I played 2 different 3-round events at Gen Con, and they felt fine. So this helps me. My DPS damage output worries, that really helps. They've played 1 Devour. They've played 2 Devours. They've seen most of their deck though too, so like, oh, I guess they've only seen half their deck. It's another gain 6. Woof. So like between this and this, there's the last Devour. I might just like not have enough damage output left in my deck at this point. With them having the 3rd Devour right away and me not getting to trigger this. Because they have what, 5 healing, 7 heal left in the bank. I might just like actually not be able to kill them. Mm. All right, got some Hurricane Raptors here. So this is a little bit awkward here because like I want to play units out on this third lane here, but I also like want to deploy units that deal damage onto this guy here, so the blessed weapons get to do something. I'm definitely playing a Hurricane Raptor on this lane here because I would like to lock them out of playing more things towards completing this quest here, ideally. Oh, those are Paladin Protectors. So I'll do this here, which eventually deals 3. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this game's going to go long and we're going to lose because of it. I think I'm pretty off this deck after playing it tonight. Felt pretty thoroughly medium. Maybe I'll work on the elf version some more. It's funny that the Mordrin aggro deck has been the one that I've enjoyed playing the most, because when I just put together because I wanted to like finish a quest that said play death cards. It's actually felt very consistent. Just gonna start spinning that down. Like I said, there's a good chance we just like can't beat all this health gain. They're still at like 25 here. And they're at a virtual. This is putting them to 23. They're at like a virtual 27 basically. They have like this health in the bank effectively. Guess I'm gonna play this out here. Oh, sorry. Play this out here. Can't play that on a spellcaster. It prevents damage from here and prevents them from doing this for a turn. And this is gonna turn and like to trigger the weapon. The deck building has a lot going on, like the way you're prioritizing things. Like, does your deck want to prioritize questing? If so, does it want to prioritize questing on all of your units? Are you like giving up one of your champions just for its abilities? So that way you're like not going to be able to quest easily on it, but you're going to get its powerful effect. Because a lot of the champions that have more powerful effects are more difficult to quest on, which makes a lot of sense. It's like a good balancing mechanic, basically. All right, Frightful Touch. So I'm just like playing my hand out here. Frightful Touch is the one that takes 2 cards from my hand and shuffles them back into my deck. That's more health gain that I'm never going to beat. It's almost certainly intentional design. Like when you design games like this, game you generally like test constructed formats basically, and like you want we always call them the precons. You always like your format has like pre-constructed decks in it that you expect the players to find. Yeah, like we're almost at parity on health now, but I like they have so many cards in their hand, and because in this game you don't draw a card every turn, like your cards in your hand are basically actions, so like they're up so many actions on me. They just have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 9 healing sitting in play. Yeah, I have 1 4 damage healing spell on this list. I think 1 sounds right. Yeah, I'm just gonna concede. This is a waste of time. I'm pretty off this deck. Did not feel good. Christy's still playing downstairs. I'm gonna play one with the elf deck before we call it a night. See if this still feels bad or if I was just making mistakes the other night. Probably a healthy mix of the two. The deck list will be in the video description after I upload them to YouTube, nerves. So just like Magic, the deck list and a link to the deck list to import into the app will be on the YouTube channel. So like I've actually played iterations of this deck list before, so you can find them on the YouTube. What are the highlights that sell me on it? I like that it fits a lot of strategical value into a condensed board state. So it's a game that plays well on my phone, but doesn't feel like it takes a bunch of strategical value and sacrifices it, so it can play well on my phone. The board state is limited for the sake of tactical sake, not for a we just want this to be limited sake, so it can fit on a cell phone. The best sell I can give for the actual gameplay is that like the gameplay is super unique. It's not gonna like people often ask you to like translate games to like what is this in like Magic terms? It's just like, well, it really doesn't translate to Magic terms. It's just like so incredibly different. That is a big hit there. So I'm gonna go ahead and play my barrier guard out here. And then I'm going to go ahead and piercing shot here. So these guys quest a little bit quicker than the ones in the other deck, which is one of the reasons why I like the elves. So this guy is going to be almost ready to finish his quest up here in a hot second. Yeah, it's probably a pretty good summary. What are we doing with this guy? Perfect. And I think I'm just going to draw a card here. I'll take a 4-ball next turn, but that's probably fine. Yeah, I actually decided to take that deck and put it away after that last match, Caleb. It's been real bad. Not a 16 already. Their deck's been really aggressive. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this here, which will flip up my thing. Perfect. So that'll put their guys to night here, which will actually let me flip through. Hit things pretty quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this really fast. Soul Feeder is actually great here, because I'm probably going to want to start removing things anyways, and Soul Feeder heals me when I remove things, which is just A+ for us. If this thing gets to rotate all the way through, it's going to remove both of these, which will then heal me with this, which is great. So if they don't have a piece of removal here, they're just going to get got pretty bad next turn. So I'm going to play this here. And then I'm going to go ahead and tactical formation this to the right. So that way it completes this quest. And this way, if this turns all the way and removes these next turn, I'll gain 4. Which would be great considering how aggressive they started out here. That being said, they haven't played any removal yet. So there's a pretty good chance they have one of their 3 pieces of removal here. If they don't have one of their pieces of removal, this is going to put us really far ahead. Oh, are they sliding one of these over? That's smart. Oh, that was a weird one to slide. Yeah, they clicked on the wrong one apparently. So this is going to flip up. I think they meant to move this one. So that's going to deal 1. This is going to deal 5 and eat both of these things, which will gain me 4. Wait, why didn't this... Whenever a highlighted unit is removed, gain 2. Did I only gain... I only gained 2 there, right? I didn't gain 4? Is that bugged? Because this removed both of them, does that... That feels weird to me. I think I'm actually just going to draw a card here. Yeah, that's why I said maybe because the removal all came from one source, that's why that happened, but that does seem awkward. When a highlighted unit is removed, gain 2 health. It only gave me health once, which felt really bad. Ooh, this is going to be a good turn for me. So, this card, whenever it removes a unit, it gets to redeploy an elf from my discard pile. So I'm going to get to go ahead and Piercing Shot here for 3. I'll have to ask in the Discord later. And then I Triumphant Smash to remove this, which gains me 2 here. And then it lets me redeploy this Barrier Guard from my discard pile onto here, which completes the 3rd quest as well. So we just, like, gain 2, smash their thing, triple quested here. And you kind of, like, I feel like we are closer to completing more quests in the first game with this deck than I was in the 4 or 5 games we played with the other C Prime deck. So I'm going to start by playing this here and see where we get going. Which blessing we get. Healing Blessing, sweet. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and hit this. I'd love a kind of a... I would love a Tactical Formation, actually. Yeah, so Tactical Formation. This is a 3x Tactical Formation deck, and it makes really good use of it. Because getting to slide this guy around to wherever on the board your opponent's going to have a unit is super valuable. So with Tactical Formation plus Triumphant Smash next turn, I'm very likely going to get to slide this guy and then smash whatever unit they have. Although that one says I can't play things, so I guess that's not going to be a thing that happens here. I guess I'll start by doing this and see what we get. Soul Feeder seems fine. This deck does not have that many Stormcast units in it. It's primarily an Aelf deck, so this deck definitely has a harder time triggering his second quest. So this is, earlier when I talked about how you kind of like pick and choose like how you build and like which champions you give up quests on. So this deck quests pretty quickly. It quests really quickly on the Lochian Prince, and it kind of quickly here depending on how the game lines up, but it's really pretty slow to quest on the Celestian Prime. So, gonna hit this. Take Barrier Guard here. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and play Barrier Guard out here. So just like big and scary, just like threatens to close stuff up. And if he ticks all the way through, he deals 5 and then cleans their board out. Maybe I should play this here. If they don't play a Raptor here, we're gonna get to slide over and kill it. That's unfortunate. What on God's green earth does that do? Swap the position of your two highlighted champions. That's interesting. So this is threatening to 5 them. I kind of just want to play Star Drake over here. Pretty far off of Warding Light being good. If I, like, play Star Drake here, I have 2 things threatening to 5 them next turn. If either of them 5 them, I can kill them with the Soul Feeder, which is appealing. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and play Star Drake and bin the Paladin. So this card requires me to discard a card from my hand. So I'm going to do that. And then, remember, you can only play 1 copy of a card per turn. So even if they have 2 Triumphant Smashes in their hand, which is pretty unlikely, they can't play both of them. Why would they swap there? What is that? What does that do for them? Oh, it rotates that back, sure. So this is going to rotate and deal 5, and then I'll play the Soul Feeder and kill them here. Perfect. Doing alright, Mikey. Checking out, playing some Warhammer. Now, I think Thoughtseize style effects, like, are really terrible gameplay. I really don't enjoy them. I like that the discard in this game gives the person who's getting discarded the choices. Like, I think the way the discard is set up in the death faction is, like, really reasonable. There's, like, card advantage is, like, really a big... Discard effects are already super powerful in this game because you have to spend an action to draw a card. So, like, if you have to, like, spend an action, if you're, like, getting card advantage already, and then, like, you're giving them selection on top of it, that just seems really absurd. And also, like, when you take choices, discard spells where you get to pick which cards you're discarding gives both players decisions to make, whereas effects like Thoughtseize and Inquisition, they take away decisions from one player, which I think makes them bad on average. Go ahead and slide him here. I want him to start across from something that's going to be deploying units, I think. I don't want to, like, put him in the middle somewhere and get him stuck across from a caster, because they could have a wizard in this mix. There's a chance they're on the 4. Yeah, looks like they're going to be on the 4 warrior build. Most of the destruction builds are 4, or most of the decks are 4 warriors at this point. I'm on the play here, so we'll see what our opener looks like. It is an interesting moto skin, you're not wrong. This game's nothing like Magic. Like, that joke was funnier when we were playing Hex, because, like, Hex is close to Magic, but this game's just very different. Grab another Reaver here, and honestly, I think I'm just going to go ahead and draw a card. So, one of the things you want to be doing in this deck is you kind of want to set it up so you go unit that deals damage into ability right away, so that way the next turn the unit turns to deal damage, and you get to complete this next quest. So basically your unit completes quests 1 and 3 for you. So... I could, like, go Barrier Guard and then Tactical Formation this over here to prevent damage on here, to prevent this quest from happening. That seems pretty good. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then again, this is going to give me that setup where this Barrier Guard is able to complete quest 1 and 3 for me, because I'm going to complete quest 2 with the Tactical Formation in the middle. Well, that's really terrible, Seth. Maybe on for a little bit more. So this guy will prevent, and so, like, I'm able to have my card complete quest 1 and 3, and I've now denied their card from completing quest 1 and 2 for them. So I've kind of gained tempo for myself by this completing multiple things, while losing tempo on their part. Like Tekken, like the fighting game Tekken. Wouldn't mind, like, another Tactical Formation here. Soul Reaver's not bad either. I'm actually just going to draw a card here again. I don't, like, really have anything else that I really want to play out. Looking for kind of abilities at this point. I might try and Ionize in the sideboard, but that's probably about it. That's really unfortunate, because it means I can't deploy units here, which kind of sucks. So I can't complete this last quest this turn. And again, I'm really short on abilities at this point, so I think I'm just like digging for abilities here. Need an ability for this and an ability here. Perfect. I would love a piercing shot. And then I think at this point, I'm still just hanging tight. You might draw one more card, try and find another ability. I'd really like a tactical formation. Triumphant Smash is fine. Not amazing, but fine. So, we're down on health total right now, but we're up on cards in hand, which is nice. Wow, that was great for us. So that card just flipped up and dealt 4, and they dealt 2 to themselves to do that just to, like, rush to their quest. So God bless, that worked out really well for us. Sure, you can 5, that's fine. So I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and play this here, and then play out this piercing shot. Again, so I can kind of complete this twice. I guess I also could have flipped up my blessing over here. Maybe I should have done that. I could have just, like, hit my draw card and then played this here to complete this blessing. But now I'm going to be, like, kind of in a position to complete 2 blessings next turn, which is nice. So this card is going to rotate to here. And this card has a mechanic that we haven't looked at yet. So this, when we deploy another elf unit in the rows next to it, it actually rotates forward sooner. So when I go ahead and deploy this over here, it's actually going to rotate this to 2, which is sweet. So this will clean off a turn sooner. Sweet. I hit my gain health blessing here. And then at this point, I don't have anything else that I'm really looking to do this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this, looking for a tactical formation. Or another ability that I can play here to move this guy around. Ideally, I want a tactical formation. Perfect. So now we want my opponent to play out a unit on any of these 3 spots here. So I can tactical formation this guy over in front of it. Man, just stone cold nothing, huh? That's interesting. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and sleight of hand here, and then probably play out a soul feeder on this lane. Maybe? Mossguard is pretty appealing. Mossguard takes a little bit to charge up, but he's going to deal 5 and clear their stuff, so let's do that. See what this blessing does. This blessing is awesome! So this blessing, when it flips up, we draw 2 cards, and then when it turns to its second corner, we get to deploy 2 elves from our hands onto units on the board. So basically, it generates 4 actions for us. It draws 2, and then it generates 2 actions by doing this. And this guy's going to rotate off next turn, and I have plenty of elves to slide out. We'll, like, put this elf on a shelf and this elf on a shelf. And if they play a unit on this lane 1 here, we're just going to slaughter them next turn. Because we'll get to deploy 2 elves, and then we'll get to go, oh, do I have a rending shot still? I don't have a rending shot, actually. It's a little bit sad. What on God's green earth does that do? Receive damage from a highlighted ally deal. Okay. So Slashing Screamer. Sure. So... So I'm going to put this here. And then I think I'm actually going to decline putting on another one here. Because you can only tactical formation into lanes where... You can only tactical formation into allies that are empty. So if I put a thing on here, I wouldn't be able to tactical formation and switch this over. So Blessings are these super powerful cards here that you flip up by completing the 4 quests on the corners of your champion. So you can see here, the next quest here is remove something. So I'm going to go ahead and Triumphant Smash to remove their spell here, and that's going to go ahead and do this. Oh, I should have put a thing on here, because I forgot his mechanic doesn't work if I'm removing a spell. I was thinking I was going to get something back from my discard pile here, but that is not how that card works. Yeah, I definitely should have put the Soul Feeder from my hand onto this card here. So I'm going to go ahead and play Soul Feeder out here. I think I'm just going to hit this too. Is that choice easy? Soul Feeder would have delayed that quest by a couple. That's true. It would have delayed this third quest here. That's annoying. They got to remove my thing. What does that do? Remove a highlighted ally unit, damage your opponent, restart. That's really interesting. So I kind of want to Star Drake here. Just like take this thing out of play. How many removal spells have they played? Any? They haven't played any removal spells, and they're through half their deck. So like there's a good chance they have a piece of removal in their hand, which means I don't want to play this Drake out just yet. Tactical formation is awesome, because it means I'm going to get to slide this guy around here in a hot second. I'm going to go ahead and play this on here. No. I'm going to go ahead and play this on here. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to put the Soul Feeder over here. I just want to, like, play cards out of my hand at this point. So, next turn, I'm going to get to Tactical Formation, slide this guy over to here, and then smash this off, which will then trigger this last quest to flip my Blessing up, and it's going to trigger the ability on this card, which will let me put an elf from my discard pile back into play. This list feels way more cohesive than the other one. I could also just be running better too, though. Wow. Okay, so I'd rather remove this one, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and I still have a smash, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and tactical formation this guy from here to here. This is such a good tactical formation deck. So I'll go ahead and do this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and smash this dork off of here, which gains me a health, rotates my unit back one, sleeps their thing, just like does actual everything, and then I get to grab like my favorite one from here. So I'm going to go ahead and just, like, put out this Smart Reaver, this Reaver here. Oh, I guess I could put out the guard. I don't want to put out the Reaver. Just, like, get that fast damage in. And that heals me. This card is so powerful with Tactical Formation. Of course they are, Seth. I assume they're going to slide this all the way down to here so it gets out of the range of this dormant one. Yeah. This damages them too, right? That's a bold strategy, Cotton. I believe they're dead, right? This does 1/1/1. Yeah, they're actually just dead. Sweet. I think I'm going to end there for the night. End on a high note. Sounds like Christie's about done. Look at that. We climbed back up most of what we lost there. We finished Silver 2. We finished higher than we started. We started Silver 3, and we got up to Silver 2. So if you missed any tonight, we've been going for about 2.5 hours. I'm going to hit publish on stuff on YouTube probably about a half hour from now or so once it uploads and processes. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I'll catch you around later. These deck lists that we played tonight will be in the video description for the YouTube video for you to easily import. So everybody have a good evening.